Oh, precious. That's not funny. I know, I'm so sorry. So sorry.
Did he actually like? now creating opportunity for other people. What the community and the society then does with opportunity, we can't dictate that.
Can I get an encore? Do you want more? Cook and roll with the Brooklyn boys. So for one last time, I need y'all to roll.
The mayor of London announced since 2019, I believe that's the statistics, he's put £1 million into sports in order to help rehabilitate our community. Now, that's laughable because what has happened since that £1 million that he put in is that crime just increased. And sometimes you ask, where did this 1 million go to? It's laughable. Now, we've spent less than that and we've reduced crime more than him. So a situation where a leader thinks throwing money at things can solve a problem. And remember, I've been in meetings, in group meetings with the mayor of London more than 3 times. So what we realize that they do is they grapple in the dark, trying to solve problems. So and then the problem increases. And so we have a dilemma on our hands. What we're doing is bringing everybody together. Thank you. And making it stronger and more effective than what the mayor has been trying to do for only God knows how many years now.
Taryn Midzeng for UEL. My question is for Mr. Adegboyega. Last week, you marched for the equality of women, but today you're endorsing an industry that is heavily gender disproportionate.
Right.
How are you looking to grow and promote women's sports and the development of young female athletes?
Thank you. Yes, we marched last week with the girl child, and just to show that within all areas of endeavor, we want women to be empowered. I went to watch my daughter play basketball in our college. I think we were there with the mom for about 4 hours, rainy day, and we were there all through. I want to encourage the female child, the girl child, to be involved in sport and to be equally paid. That's why we have the head of strategy for sport. Our job is to make sure that lessons are available for people they are paid for, to make sure that kits are available for those whose parents are struggling to showcase the talent of their kids. And like Charlie mentioned, to have partnership across the world that can bring scouts to introduce these footballers to other clubs and stuff like this. That no child will say, I don't have the chance to become great. We are the platform for greatness.
I can hear the screams and the echoes of the children outside. And there's probably billions of children that want to be the next football player.
You've got 2 out of those 3.
And one of them, hopefully, will be the best football player. I'm looking at everyone on the platform. Give a round of applause. My question is, what is your message to those that might not become professional football players, but they still want to be a part of your organizations?
They should be referees. But on a serious note, the first thing in a child's life, is to look for their area of expertise, what works for them. And then an organization like ours, a family like ours, boasts of resources. Resources mean that we can ease people into different areas. We have the beauty movement. We have everything that you can think of, and that's what a family is supposed to be.
Champions today.
man. Either you're on the opposing side or the winning side. It is mandatory, because you're not an hater, that you celebrate the winning team today. They displayed a fighting spirit. Okay, their coach said they displayed a Spark Nation spirit. Please welcome the winners for today, Paul's family and the COD family. Don't stop clapping. Don't stop cheering. If you are a winner, don't stop shouting. Come on. Alaka, Charlie. I present this historic trophy to the winning team today. Charlie, congratulations to you and your team. And Alakan, may you keep winning.
Look like for a law city. And for me, our aim has always been to connect aspiring lawyers from low socioeconomic backgrounds to the legal industry and to increase social mobility. But I think for me, what the success stories are hearing the growth and progress of our network and our student ambassadors. So I remember after our first event, there was a young black boy who came up to me and said he had never been to the city before, didn't know there were so many black lawyers, and didn't realize that a legal career was something that he could attain until he attended our first event. We also have Cody here, who after several years of rejection managed to secure a training contract last year at a leading firm, which I think is amazing. If you look on our website and you look at the social mobility report, you realize that while only 7% of the public went to private schools, they actually make up over 70% of barristers and 27% of CEOs in the UK. So whether that's providing an opportunity for that young black boy or helping Cody secure a training contract, they're helping that 93% of people who have come from diverse backgrounds know that the best jobs are attainable.
And if there's anything to take away from these, please remember that all I'm saying is that today it is aspiration, tomorrow it has to be inspiration. And so I want it to be the next 1 year or 2 years that we say aspiring lawyers now become inspiring lawyers. Thank you very much for having me.
Good afternoon. Wait. Are we live? Sorry about that, guys. Good morning or good afternoon from wherever you're tuning from. Can I please see the comments so I know I'm not speaking to myself? Thank you. Good morning, Pastor Charlie. Good morning, Pastor Kate. Good morning, Pastor Dorothy. Good morning, Evangelist Yasmin, Pastor Binta, Deborah, Pastor Emma. I have a short time with everyone today, so I'm just going to get straight into it. For those that don't know me, my name is Emily, and I am the Assistant Global Communications for Law City. Yesterday, we had an amazing event held in the Law Society by, of course, the Law City. That just deserves a round of applause. Thank you. It was absolutely amazing. We had over 20 lawyers, both barristers and solicitors, over 100 students and aspiring lawyers, all together, coming together, networking, gaining tips. People that didn't know anything about law, didn't know how to get into law, they came, they left that event in awe. I think that deserves a round of applause. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. So I was studying law in university, and in my final year, student finance decided not to fund me. So I automatically went into panic mode. I was saying, Pastor Onyi, what am I going to do? Pastor Emma, what am I going to do? I've always wanted to become a barrister. For as long as anyone knows me, the one thing I've always wanted to be or do is law and be a lawyer. So I was panicking, thinking, what's going to happen? Like, how am I going to get there? But it took a Pastor Karima, it took a Pastor Onyi, it took a Pastor Emma, it took a Pastor Dorothy to continually push me and tell me that I will be that leader that I need to be when it comes into the legal world. Nothing can stop me, nothing will stop me, and I have the backing of the family, and that's all that matters. I now currently work in Canary Wharf for a financial global company within the legal department. Thank you. Bearing in mind, guys, I don't have a degree, so how I got there, only God knows. Everyone that I work with has a degree or a master's or have worked in the most reputable law firms in the UK. But here I am, a 23-year-old girl with little to no experience, no degree. I'm there, and when I'm walking to work, I tell myself I'm the best, and not because I want to be cocky or because I think I have all the qualifications. No, I'm the best because I have the word, and that's it. I have leadership that is backing me. We have a PT. All the leaders that are around us just want the best for us, and we are the best in whatever industry we're in. So yes, I'm going to tell myself that I'm the best at work. Yes, I'm going to speak about Law City because that's all that people need to know. Those that have known me for a while know that I've been very inconsistent. I was always in and out, but I'm not afraid to say that because that is my story. The moment I believed in leadership and said, okay, I'm going to sit down and actually take this word in and just believe. My key word today is believe, because that's one thing I didn't have, and that's why I was very inconsistent. But once I chose to believe in leadership and in the word and all the support I have around me, all the leaders, there's no reason why I can't achieve what I need to achieve. This is just the beginning, and as you can see, yesterday's event was an amazing turnout. And again, just wait for the next event. Pastor Precious, can I please have my first scripture?
John 17 from verse 21 in the easy read version. I pray that all of them will become united. You, Father, are in me, and I am in you. I pray that they also will be united in us. Then the world's people will believe that you sent me.
Can you please read that again?
I pray that all of them will become united. You, Father, are in me, and I am in you. I pray that they will also be united in us. Then the world's people will believe that you sent me.
Thank you. Law City isn't just a networking hub, or isn't just an events team that holds events. No, we're actually a family. I see Law City as a family. So we have to have the same mind, the same heart, the same drive. If a Pastor Dorothy is saying we're going left, we're going left. If she's saying we're going right, we're going right. And I was speaking to a leader not long ago, and I just told her, even if it takes my last penny putting that into Law City, that's what I will do, because I know that this thing will work, and it has to work because we have the word and the leadership in this house. We are the best. We're here to stay. So you either win with us or watch us win.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, leaders. My name is William Goldmxn from the Gold House. It's good to be back on the mic. I've been waiting for a little while, but PO's not been letting me go on. Just for those of you that don't know, I'm a Premier League scout. I focus on the ages from 12s to under 21s. And what that consists of is just getting sort of the young boys to the older boys fit, ready for the Premier League standard of football, which is intense as anything, as you guys know. Best league in the world by far. So we're on summer break right now, so obviously it's difficult because it's where the champions are made. You've got to put in that extra work, and any time off football is detrimental. I think we saw that with Pac's performance on Sunday. Might be time to hang up the boots, mate, do you know what I mean? But we'll see. But yeah, it was really good. We got the win nevertheless, and I hope you guys all saw that. It was a great day out. But yeah, so my targets for this summer, I'm going to be out in the field, in the trenches of, I'm not going to bait out some certain areas, but I'm going to be in the trenches everywhere looking for the next Messi to bring them in. And I've got so much work to do because this is going to be the first time I'm actually going to be involved in summer transfers. And as you guys know, the money in football is stupid. So being involved in that for the first time ever, I'm very, very excited. It's going to be interesting, lots of learning. And yeah, I just wanted to sort of just bring us together because obviously we've got a massive event coming up tomorrow. Big tournament. You're going to see me. I'm going to be working. I'm going to be representing my club, which is going to be very, very exciting. So you guys get to see that. And obviously you guys have all seen the sort of the NSA, the National Sports Association recently. I'm very, very grateful for that. It's been very, very good. And what I like about us coming together, we're bringing all the different sports associations within the nation together. So we've got, you know, Locked In, Capital Sports, Block Sports, and we're all sort of bouncing off each other. And what I like about us coming together is the fact that PT and all the leaders, they're just game, like as in everyone's just on it, because I'm in sports and I'm heavy into sports already. Me and my business partner, we've just lived and breathed sports for years now. But when PT's on it, he's even teaching me things about sports that I didn't know it either. So it's just, when we done the tournament last Sunday and the game last Sunday, PT's telling me stuff that I'm even bringing back to my club. Like, I didn't even know that this happened. So the power of community and coming together within this is powerful. I want to shout out Pastor David. I think he's done very, very well. He's a great leader. He's allowing us to sort of flow freely. So big shout out to him. And I'm really, really looking forward to us demonstrating the numbers that we can bring tomorrow for the massive game, massive tournament. And sports is just powerful in general because the money in it's stupid, but the people in it is just even bigger. So the tournament tomorrow, we've got loads of prizes, loads of people coming down. I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, just hope you guys are all ready. Thank you.
Mask off, so you can see our features. Our parents couldn't afford much, so we had limits in our reaping. Lived in barbershops where uncles became politicians. But all the houses had in common was the poverty we were seeing. But it brought us closer. It was family first. We went from knockdown ginger to selling rocks and revolvers. We were playing ball, we had shooters in cages. Couple years later, these shooters were still behind bars. Guess they failed to test their ranges. But they labeled us a gang, and we put each other on. Have you ever had a limit to your lack? Half our fathers never showed up, so we were cancelled by our flats. But I can't be defined by my surrounding. L's up, treasures where my heart is. First class, that's the degree of my accountant.
Yeah. Yeah. I got tired of my silhouette living like it was me. If you're a slave to yourself, then can you really be free? I know times you couldn't breathe, internalize into grief, but you made it to my best verse yet. Let's say the speech. Rule number one, I hope you're comfy in your seat, and I hope you got a pen, I'm about to break down a brief. Trust me, I'm improved. I paid in blood for these keys. I gave my 20s to you so you can hear me when I speak. Look, living out my dream was a nightmare. Ironic how just to get out boxes we bought squares. I saw giving at the top stairs. Scarred my eyes, had me looking at my block weird. I'd be lying if I told you we were not scared. But how we live made it easier to block fears. Mummy can't talk to her son, she ain't inspired. Play the streets, dodge these, how we been wired. Play the cards we were dealt, so we conspired. Serve fiends, cat seas, but we weren't tired. Young G's getting caught up in the crossfire. Why you think them cat seas got hot wired? Sisters crying, mum's in a mess. She don't know, mummy's got on a test. Another time because she saw her mother do it, and she knows that mummy done that whenever she's going through.
You gotta look inside yourself. Your insecurity won't break me down.
Yeah.
You gotta find a silhouette, but don't hold your breath.
Let's go, Rose.
I'm protected by the light. Realize you can't crush my soul.
Fearless, everything I feared already happened to me.
Yeah.
If you've never been caged, how can you ever be free? If my life was a book, I'll title it compete.
What?
The death contended for my life before I could breathe. Fear is just false emotions appearing real. I knew the risk of my first drill when I done it still. They wonder why I resist thousands to get to mills. The fear killed more G's than failure ever will. Belmar, Thameside, Felton, Pentonville. The concrete jungle, I seen it all. Time to slits, but don't slits, family principles. I was facing 25 and then speak, cool case after cool case. Trial after trial, sentence after sentence, that's life in the world. Straight face for the judge, for my family I smiled. For my team I've been an OG, who was on ground. We're in a new era, buying cap. I got $1 million off, so what's 100 bags? If you're still on your face, you ain't on all the stand. Lost millions, no low, that's all bounce back. I'm in a fast lane, cause it's just on slow jams. Killed the vibe in the car when my phone rang, blue lights on rear view. My soul need an ambulance. They want me dead, I rest in peace, I'm panicking. Roll. Let me see your hands. One. I see you from the front to the back. Let me see your hands. That's right.
Yeah.
My life is a blessing. It comes with the stresses.
Let's go, Nation Family. It's the world service. Let's go.
We're about to get water, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, my life is a blessing. I said, oh, you're a blessing.
Into the world. Let me see your feet. Let's go. I did not talk to them.
Look, these days I feel like a lone ranger. Most of this cool just go and get his paper. Surrounded by family, times when I'm alone I get to think. And I can't lie, this feeling's kinda strange. There's so much that I haven't done, so much that I need to do. One day it's Pakistan, next day it's freedom food. I'm trying to find consistency. Patterson I'll never lose. Days when I was Dowie's words, the other days my head is screwed. I can't do what I wanna do. I wanna make $1 million. I should be out there flying bird, but I ain't worth the risk. I should be out there taking risks. I'm afraid of failing things. Not to be the happy kids, and they will change the state I'm in. I can feel the pressure now. I can feel the eyes on me. I could let them watch me fool. I got too much pride in me. I don't get on nothing. Consciousness is biting me. I don't like to match me, but then what's wrong with me?
morning, everyone. Good morning. It's Saturday. Welcome to the ELC this morning, all over the nation and all of our friends all over the world. Good morning to you all, or good afternoon, wherever it is you're tuned in from. And I'm sure you're all getting yourselves ready for what's going to be an epic, according to Pastor Crystal, I can see, absolutely epic Sunday. It's another Super Sunday, guys, with the nation. And this time around, we're going to have loads of teams across London. I believe, to be precise, about 48 teams registered, all competing for the amazing prize of, is it £5,000 or £10,000 for the winner? £5,000 for the winner this Sunday in a location soon to be disclosed in the UK. Stay tuned for that. The nation is on its campaign trail. So if you have PO on this afternoon or this morning, wherever you're tuned in from, it's the ELC, and you know you do your ELC however you want to do your ELC. Sometimes in your bed, or sometimes having your brunch, or whatever it is you're doing. Just be sure to make sure you've got me booming off. Let me do what is customary for us on this program. The volume is low. The volume is low. Please help me with my volume. Let me greet everybody that's tuned in. I see you, Pastor Nations, Pastor Dorothy, the Lost City movement. Good morning to you. Good morning to you, Pastor. An exceptional, you can't hear me. An exceptional. Yeah? Can you hear me clearly? I'm fine. Okay. An exceptional program put on yesterday evening, and I was gladly honored to live my parents' dreams of PO being a lawyer. So when I walked in and they said, a lady asked myself, Pastor Shadi and Pastor Karima, are you a lawyer, or are you a student? Are you aspiring? I said, of course I'm a lawyer. I'm into family law. They said, oh, you're into family law, what practice? And then very luckily for me, at that point, the doors opened and we all had to walk in. So she didn't know what practice I'm a part of. I would have said, oh, nation practice, family law nation practice. Amazing program put on Saturday afternoon by Pastor Dorothy and Law City. I was so impressed by the excellence of this in the middle of Chancery Lane, which if any of you have taken the time to study the United Kingdom history, you know that Hatton Garden belongs to the jewelers, Chancery Lane belongs to the lawyers, and which one belongs to the doctors? Huh? Harley Street belongs to the doctors. So these guys have nation built also. So we're just following a template. From Law City will come many champions of law, not just within the UK, but all across the globe. I heard the Vision 2025, the Vision 2030, the Vision 2050 goals of Law City, and I can say that it is under the right leadership. So on that note, I do congratulate all the team at the Law City. I was so proud to see Minister Daniela lining up, Minister Emily lining up, and also Beverly, who conducted herself extremely well, and all the team that performed yesterday evening. It was an amazing event. On that note, we have seen these societies forming within the nation, the Law City, the House of Medics, but what can we talk and say about the Nations Sports Association? The Nations Sports Association, the NSA, has been a move of a wonder. Pastor Rodell, sir, when you have Rodell on your stream, you know that you really done something well this week. So for Pastor Rodell to be on, I greet you, sir. I greet you, Sensei. And Pastor D9 Hector, good morning to you both. But I want to commend you both for the movement of the Nations Sports Association, which is led by Pastor David Boyo of the Elite family, the new elite. That move is absolutely amazing, and this is what we want to see in this nation. These are associations rising up and this is what we want to see. So furthermore to this, we will have the Nations Trade Union Board kicking off, and what you will see are many more associations forming. The goal of these associations is not just to hold and host your Sunday. We will task them to grow these communities. And the growing of these communities is what will have to allow them to expand with players, expand with agents, expand with scouts. And listening to Pastor Doro speak about the 2030 goal of Lost City, you already know that when you have the burden of people, then you start to see the shape of your purpose. You start to see what you're really in this nation for. So hold tight for everybody that is still about to kick off this year. The union board and the associations will come into action, and this is when you get to mingle with your kind, but more so, this is when the word does come alive for a lot of the things that you're trying to do. So let me just do the customary greetings of the Connect family being on, the Pulse family, the New Elite family, of course I can't forget the Love family, the Inspire family, the COD Wealth family, the Life family, and all of the families within our blessed nation. I'm absolutely honored to make sure that we have an amazing ELC this Saturday. The word has been absolutely amazing. My job is very simple as PO, is to try, do my best to bring the word in a way that you can make sense of some things that PT has been saying. I'm not an expert, but I will try. And we can prepare ourselves properly for the coming days of the word, the coming days. The week before, we also had the Nation Sports Association host us in the family competition of football, in which we had the Pulse and the Wealth family versus the Elite and the Connect family. And we saw, of course, all passions at the utmost top on last week. We saw chants. We heard chants, and we saw everyone dressed in their array of fineness. But I think the chanting is part of the most amazing part for me, because I'm not sure if that's scripted. That was kind of very interesting to hear, unless it's scripted. But that was powerful. And then to see the Ronaldos of our nation in performance. How many of you guys enjoyed seeing Pastor Alex roll up his boots and play again? I know William has given him a hard time. And we did say to Pastor Alex, sir, are you sure you're ready for this level? Because it's going to be serious. And he said he will play centre back. He will become Gattuso or Rudiger. But we realized that some levels you just have to decide you're a pastor. So Pastor Alex, I commend you and I welcome you to the realm of Pastor Onyi and all the other pastors as a true retiree of football. Thank you, sir. Welcome to our club. Please don't play with those young boys again. You're with me now, Pac. Me and you, we're not far from we're not far from age, I'm just like your twin brother. I'm telling you. We're close. He's always trying to run from me. But when I saw you fumbling on the pitch, I smiled and I said, my son, please come and sit next. Why don't you come sit next to me and Bundles and observe this amazing game of football? Of course, Pac is definitely a senior pastor. I was scared before the game because Connect have two dangerous players. For me, I just said that's not fair. They have Daniel Hector, who actually plays FA Cup. For those of you who watch football, like FA Cup, like with Arsenal and everybody, like he plays there. He's a seasoned When someone uses the word season, it means in good times and bad times, they're playing football. This man is on the pitch. And I said, Pastor Sam, you really want to win this game because these are the people who should be watching and encouraging others to try. Then, on top of Daniel Hector, they also fielded Pastor Rodell. If you know Pastor Rodell, I have not known him apart from football. Like since the beginning of Nation Family, SPAC Nation, even when we're in SPAC Ministries. Imagine, Rodell is like the PT of football. From SPAC Ministries, he's been playing football. Club to club, Rodell is the only person in the nation who has actually turned down international transfer, isn't it, Alice? Like he actually has an agent, and the agent said, "Hey, do you want to go abroad?" He said, "No, I'll rather stay in London." That means the rest of us are just pretending to play. And then they feel these two giants. But like the believers will say, but the Lord was on our side. Despite these two giants being on the team, but the Lord heard our cry and he gave us a ray. Give a round of applause for that young man. Oh, Ray Hot Shack. We really had a Ray Hot Shack on our team. And as I was there observing Ray, BT looked back and said, "Why are you shouting for Ray?" So I said, "Sir, you see that boy's left foot? Very dangerous. When he cuts on that foot, don't worry, you see the angle. As soon as I said that, Hot Shack, boom. Hot Shack goal. Mad goal. So we're commending Pastor Big RR, yes, Rolls Royce Ray. We're commending him for helping us defeat Goliath last week. And we will not give you rematch, Rodell. We will not do rematch till 2030. When Rodell and Hector have retired, then we'll have a rematch. So anyway, last week was exceptionally beautiful. All of the family able to spend time and get a preview into what this week will be like. Excuse my voice as we kick off the ELC this afternoon. And let me just lead you into our first discussion this morning or afternoon. Individual versus Christ. We're speaking about community building. One thing you can guarantee about Christ is a people's person. Okay? And so you can probably use this opportunity now to pay a little attention to me and maybe have your notes or whatever it is you use. Christ is a people's man. He's a people's person. He's a humanitarian. He didn't come to introduce Christianity. He came to introduce what he calls the way. This is my way. This is my behavior. This is how I behave when I'm faced in certain situations. So he came to introduce a way. He didn't necessarily come to say on Sundays, make sure you go to church. Does anybody remember any scripture of speaking about Sunday service? I don't think there's even one scripture that mentions Sunday service. He was intentional enough to just show us a way, a lifestyle. What you've been observing for years within the Nation family is a PT that's been obsessed about the lifestyle, the words behind the words of Christ speaking about a way. This way is what we are slowly introducing. It's an obsessiveness towards people and community. It is not being an individual, it's being a part of everyone. It is understanding that the only way for you to show you love yourself is by loving the person next to you, is by your interactions with the person to your left and to your right. It's about how often you think about how useful you are to your brethren, to your brother or sister, or even to those who you've not made contact with yet, but you're aware of their struggles and issues. So I was listening intently to Law City. That Law City was birthed because, in Pastor Dorothy's words, paraphrased, I'm just a young lady from a disadvantaged background that found myself pushing ambitiously to become a lawyer. Does this not sound like Emily? And not just like Emily, but it must sound like many others outside. But this was first Pastor Dorothy's struggle. Law City was birthed because eventually when I made my way through those doors, I didn't see others who looked like me, and I didn't see others who spoke like me. I realized that I'm in a foreign ground, and there's not going to be many people who would have my interest at heart. So I birthed a community of, I believe she mentioned 5,000 subscribers. Now you have 5,000 subscribers. Why? Because of an issue you went through, but you decided to pay attention to what it was saying. You decided to not cover this issue. You decided to pay it some mind. Not because you're powerful as Dorothy, but because you heard words that challenged you. You heard words that convinced you over time that you can be anything, you can face anything, that you have the potential to be global. Those words made you strong and hard enough to look at the situation you were going through and decide, why don't I face this situation for others also? Now you have a community. So in this period of industry, and I said it last week, that the nation is at the cusp of an industrial boom. And the industrial boom is set up for those of you who are industry focused, not church focused. This is where the nation family is now. Those of you who are industry focused, who have an interest into what the rest of the people are hungry for, now you'll be able to hear the word PT is speaking clearly. You will understand Thursday's word, that you were not set up to build a happy home of wife or husband, 2 kids, a dog, and a mortgage. It's ideal somewhere else. But in this society where we've only started building our society, it's urgent and it's yearning for industry heroes. Those of you who can take on the challenge of saying, on behalf of the people, I receive these words. The receiving of the word is the responsibility and the tool that you're given for your industry. The word does not arm you with finances. The word arms you with words, with this responsibility. And what the word does, the word attracts trouble. But let me not go too far ahead of myself. Let's read that 1 Corinthians that PT first started with on Thursday to give a good context to this morning.
1 Corinthians 15 from verse 40 in the NKJV. There are also celestial bodies and terrestrial bodies, but the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. There is one glory of the sun, another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars.
Different bodies have different glories. The NSA is a body. The body of the NSA. So bodies are not speaking about you as an individual. Bodies are speaking about the collective, the coming together of a people. They're classed as a body. So it says there are different bodies, and these bodies all have their own glory. When you sat down in front of the nation, NSA, again, excuse my voice, I'm losing it a bit. When you sat down in front of the whole nation, the NSA, and you said, 250 million is nothing to us. This is our vision. You spoke about the glory that is to come, not the glory that you're in now. As a body, you declared your future glory. When you sit in as your association as the Lost City and you speak about what's to come, when you sit in your body as the House of Medics, and eventually we will have all the other associations opening up for the union, the logistics, and many of you, when you start to speak about your future glory, do not compare it to the glory of the body next to you, because all glories are different and all bodies differ based on their functions. He said there is one glory of the sun. It is surely a glory. The sun's glory is a glory. But it says, but another glory of the moon. The moon's glory in itself is just particularly for the moon. What this scripture speaks about is about the differences of the bodies, the associations, the student body you have, the university body, the Nation Sports Association body, the difference of these bodies, but yet so their glories still cannot be taken away from them, that these are exceptional associations and they play a function in our society. Really, the breaking out of the four corners, the four walls of this church would be to set up and pitch up a tent in the 15 corners of this world, the 15 industries. The Music Association, Limitless is but a company. But soon the Music Association, the gathering of artists, producers, and many others for the purpose and the vision of whatever is set by the leader of that association, so that the world can eventually hear what the word has to say in the 15 corners of the world. We saw PT closing off an amazing event. I met an asset management aircraft lawyer yesterday. I met a young lawyer in family law, in different parts of law, but then to hear the word give the final address is exactly what we're trying to do in spreading the gospel amongst these different dialects of people. So PT spoke about the dialects being your industries, your companies. Some of you are bilingual, trilingual. Some of you speak one language, like a Pastor Charlie who speaks about sports. So the nation wants to know, what are you doing in regards to sports, in regards to football, basketball, everything? What are you doing in this regard? Yes, we have a Sunday dedicated to sports. But after this Sunday, don't expect that up until the next Sunday that there won't be interest in your association. Your association has to now begin to work, begin to move, begin to mobilize, begin to build its community. So that the next time the nation revisits your body would have developed. You can read on for me, Pastor.
For one star differs from another star in glory, so also is the resurrection of the dead. The body is sown in corruption, it is raised in incorruption. It is sown in dishonor, it is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power.
That a body is sown in incorruption and raised in its glory. Listen to me this afternoon or this morning. The selection of you and I is because there is parts of you and your life, you have been through some situations that credit you to be the exact perfect specimen, to be called a seed for your community. I'll say that again. Remember that the reason why you and I are selected is because if God is going to really create a body in sports, that body has to be raised by a seed, a person. But the selection of that person is that he must be sown in dishonor. Because when he becomes a body, and when he's raised as a body, he will be raised in glory. How do I get sown in dishonor? Look at your life up until now. It is constant perseverance through trials and situations and hardships. But because of the word, you keep on going. This is the prime subject to community build. A perfect person cannot community build. Because to community build, you need perseverance. Perseverance can only be in you if you have been dishonored, if you have been through some tough periods. That is the only way you can be a prime subject to community build, to raise a body for the word, as in a people. Because remember, the people coming into your body as the sports association, they're not all coming with the values that you uphold, but they come with one common language. It's called sports, or it's called music. I was speaking with Pastor Karen and she said, "Sir, I've already started with the accounting association, the Association of Accountants." I think she said to me she's already got a group chat of 100 and so many of them, 100 plus many of them. Aspiring accountants, companies, students. In order to lead that kind of body, that kind of society, it has to be Pastor Corinne. It has to be someone who is used to giving, sowing. It has to be someone who has been in situations where things may not look right, even though your heart is right. It has to be someone who has put themselves on the line for other people. If not, how do you gather so many people to form one body? You would eventually lose interest in them. You would eventually become tired of them. It would take the perseverance of this type of person to put together a community. What do you want to read?
Verse 44 in the Amplified Classic, sir. It is sown a natural physical body. It is raised a supernatural, a spiritual body. As surely as there is a physical body, there is also a spiritual body. Thus it is written, the first man, Adam, became a living being, an individual personality. The last Adam, Christ, became a life-giving spirit, restoring the dead to life.
That is the definition of building a community. Let me break this down to you again. The first man, Adam, became a living, he was an individual personality. No one can doubt the personality of Pastor Daniel Hector. He's a charming man. No one can doubt the personality of Pastor Charlie. But you see, for you to really encapsulate the word that PT is speaking about for the Nation Sports Association, a Pastor David Boyle has to be a life-giving spirit, not a personality. Personality gets you as far as somewhere, but to become a body, you have to reverse the direction of energy and give energy and give life to those who are coming, because they're dead. Dead means they have no understanding of a future. You're seeing young men coming in their droves to play for £5,000, and you can see their reaction. For some of them, it's a huge deal. That's a dead man. Anyone that can look at 5K, that it can make them. Honestly, we're all in this game of life together, guys. Do you think 5K can set you up? I remember when the government did a great job to release the bounce back loans, and it was 50K. I remember seeing some people moving mad with that when that 50K dropped. They don't know meeting with my leader anymore. Listen, leaders were at risk during bounce back loan. It was like people will book meeting with you and say, "Sir, see, there's a way now we need to be doing this thing." Because sometimes it looks like the 50K is enough. But at the point where you value 50K enough to make you, you're still just dead. I can only use that as an example. Of course, there are many examples that might not pertain to cash and money and whatever. But look at the rate in which people are registering. They're not registering to show you their skills. They're registering because they believe there is life where they're going. They believe from there, things will get better. Don't look at the registration other than this. Wow, are there this many dead in sports? That's the way the Nation Sports Association has to view the registrations. You're seeing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people registered, and you're saying, wow, are there this many dead in sports? That we can promise just a little, not even, I won't even call this one life. This one is like just a little drop of water in hell. And they're attacking it in droves. It shows the amount of responsibility on not just Pastor David, the whole entire team, Pastor Riddell, Pastor Hector, Pastor Charlie, Pastor William, all the team locked in and all the group. You now realize that the shape you need to take is not the shape you've had before. As an amazing individual personality, now it requires you to take on a different shape. This shape means, can I give life to the dead, to other people, to people who don't think they have a chance? The orchestrator is in front of you. PT has shown you for years now how to be obsessive enough to give life. Were you attentive to the class so that you too now can give life? So, and I'm speaking to anyone now, I'm saying to them, the nation is in a mode at this minute where you have to be obsessed over the responsibility over you, because you are no longer regarded as an individual personality. You are now expected to be a life-giving spirit. No one wants to sit down over what you're going through. You can only use this position and situation to start to think about how to help others come out of what you may think you're going through. This is Pastor Doro. This is Pastor David Boyer. This is Pastor Dr. Emma and the Beauty Mountain and many others. Unless we take this shape, you will be hearing words and many preachings and you won't be able to connect to it. It's trying to put you in a position to be a liberator. Liberators are unrelenting. Liberators are fierce. The life-giving spirit, you must have enough word inside of you that you're able to bring back to life anyone despite their level of despair. What is definition of community, please?
Community definition: a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common.
A group of people in the same space let's just say in the same industries, having the same similar characteristics,
A body of persons or nations having a common history or common social, economic and political interests.
I like that. A body of people. So this is what I was saying to you. He's not speaking about yourself as an individual when he's speaking about body. We're in a mode and a season, if I can use those words, to just prepare you for how you listen to the word, that can you be responsible for many others? Have you heard word to the space where you can actually represent your industry? If you haven't reached that space yet, then you're part of those that are looking for your liberator in your space. I will have to be honest with you. So you can just sit and wait. But rather than sitting and waiting, why not just take the journey to be a liberator? Do you want to hear the journey to be a liberator? That's the journey I'm going to give you a little snippet on this afternoon. The liberator of a community is called the seed. I want you to remember this, and I'll maybe write it down somewhere. The liberator, the person who comes to create the body, the person who comes to create the community, is called the seed. The job of the seed is to do what? Is to go into the ground. The job of the seed is not just to sprout with a great big tree straight away. Wow, there's so many fruits here, blah, blah, blah. The role of the seed is to go into the ground. The seed does not look like the fruit. The seed is usually hard and small. Think about your last 6, 7, 8 years in the nation. If you're really following the nation, you should be leaner and more mature now than you were before. Leaner and more mature. That's what I mean by harder. More mature in the word, more mature in your concept and your perspective of things. You should be more mature. Why? Then you've taken on the state of seed. Your next move now is not to make $1 billion. Your next move now is to get into hard spaces and push to flourish. You go into the ground. If you really want the sports association to work, it will not work from a mansion it will not just work from sitting in your room, is what I mean. It will work from being obsessive and being in the ground, on ground. It will work by being in some tough places where you would not usually go. That's what I mean by dark places, hard places. It's the only way it works, by having conversations with the least likely. The seed's journey is not a glamorous journey. Do you want to read something?
John 12 from verse 24 in the NIV. Very truly I tell you, unless a kernel of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains only a single seed. But if it dies, it produces many seeds.
The way to make these communities flourish, the reception or the celebration of Nation Sports Association is amazing. It is fantastic. The boards and the posters and everything is nice. But what comes after this, Pastor David? What comes after this, Pastor Charlie? Is very tough. It must go down. It must really be able to mobilize 1,000 people if needed. It must really be able to mobilize 2,000 people if needed. It must be really in its space amongst its people. it must not be encouraged. The unions and associations have to be our step into the public market to interact with people, because very few of our companies and people are interacting with the public market. If you want to die, go outside and deal with the public. It's there that you will know that you're not Pastor Alex. Thomas is laughing. It's there you will know that, you see that evangel they call you. You're not evangel. Precious, when I was doing logistics, see that public market? When you arrive at the depot, it's at the minute you step down into that depot, you know you're not Pastor Onyi. Only Pastor Alex can laugh. He understands. He knows. They will give you, what is it they gave me? The foil paper. By the time you're running around wrapping drinks, your own soldiers are looking at you saying, is this PO? Pastor is like, no, sir, let me wrap it for you. I said, back. See, in this world here, they don't know who I am. Or let's just be wrapping this thing and go in. That's what makes some of our industries not flourish. When you get there, please, you know, you're not pastor, etc. You have to get in. You have to. You have to go down. You have to use every word and seed you've sown to be able to function in the dark. In that dark place is where the seed begins to create its roots. It uses every bit of water that it's ever had, every bit of word it's ever had. That's what the seed uses on the ground to create roots. So you see why some things don't grow. You go into the public market, you say, sir, I'm going into my industry. I'm going to create a dynamic company. But you've gone there with zero word, zero giving, zero anything, zero mobilization training, and then you're looking at that ground and nothing comes up. Because the only way the seed can exist underground is by everything called mobilization, the training of mobilization, the training of giving. How to exist on little is called giving. I didn't come to ginger you on giving, you know. That's Pastor Sam. But I'm telling you for now, if you're not a giving person, you cannot build anything of note, because you won't know how to be lean, how to have and push away and exist on small because of what you're doing. That's what giving trains you for. If not, you'll be caught up by so many things, and the things you were supposed to use to push to create roots, you end up eating it, and then you die on the ground. The seed is the one responsible for building communities, so the communities that will come out of the nation right now is from those who have understood the next journey for them. Remain lean and mature. Don't fatten yourself. If you fatten yourself, you cannot become anything. You must be lean and mature, hard like the seed. It's not glamorous underneath, but you're setting your roots. You're meeting the right people. You're putting the right teams together. You're hearing the right words that allow you to form the roots underground, so that when you come out as whatever you're supposed to come out as, you don't just come out on your own. You come out with so many others. The seed can be the only liberator and creator of community. Why? Seeds grow in the direction of the word. You need to make sure you remember this. The light for your word is a light unto my path and a lamp unto my feet. The seed grows in the direction of light. It grows down first, looking for light. It doesn't find it. It creates roots. Then it comes up in the direction of the sun, the word. You must be hearing word if you're going to really build and have Vision 2030 successful as Lost City. And the many other industries that may come out, and not just industries, companies, careers, whatever it is you're doing, but unless there is an acute attention to the word, unless you have understood the shape you must be now, lean. Don't look at Peter and say, oh yeah, he has a Rolls Royce, why don't I have one? Oh, I wonder where my seed goes to. This is where crazy people begin to talk. Were you there when he was seed? One shirt, what's the thing? One shirt, one trouser. It sounds nice to wrap it. Is it good to live it though? I don't think you want to live one shirt, one trouser and all those things. That's a seed. You can only just but believe that. You know, when a seed is underground, it can only just believe and have a hope of what outside looks like. And it's still working its way in the ground. It's not when the tree grows that it begins to develop characteristics. Every DNA of that tree is made when it was underground. It's not when you come out, oh, don't worry, when I come out now, everyone will say, no. It is at the ground level, zero. At that ground level is where every characteristic begins to enter you. The one that you will keep forever, the one you will not. When Joseph became the chief economist of the world, because Egypt was the world power, he developed the characteristics to be chief economist from the jail, from the dishonoring in Potiphar's house. He did not develop it when he was wearing the coat of many colors in his dad's house and everyone loves him. It's in those dishonored spots and zones the seed begins to code DNA to be able to lead a community and nation. So for everyone that is tuned in this morning and afternoon, yes, we're celebrating on Sunday the Nation Sports Association coming out with another huge installment for the Sunday. But that is like the firing of the gun, like they say in the race, for them. And then they have to be monitored for us to see if it can really be a nation appeal, or will it just be the adding of people in fellowship? This is not what we're looking for. We're not looking for you to add people in Pulse, people in Elite, people in Connect. It's good to start. We must check it back again as a group of 5,000. Pastor David Boy flying all across the world to represent those who just believe when it comes to the NSA, they really understand what it means to be a sportsman. It's possible for you to have, I want you guys to let us know when we will have a major athlete in the NSA. I want you guys to tell us the timeline that by this year, we will have every major athlete in each sport. They'll be in the NSA. Because they just feel that Pastor David represents values that they can hide under. Isn't that what the Nation family did for us? So the obsessiveness of the leader of the Nation family is what did that for you. You're somewhere where you believe there's a platform to raise you. And at this point, it's for you to grab the bull by the horns, like they would say, grab the word and go down and form some roots and form an unbeatable character to be able to lead a community. That's where we're heading to. Don't look at your leanness today and say, why can't I just be a bit fatter? You're supposed to be lean as a seed, but only because you're sowing, mobilization, giving, leadership, honor, everything that you're pushing back out is just forming you so that when you come out, these values are what people rush to. You'll be surprised who can join your community just based on your values. We can use these tools to enter the free market, because those people in the free market will then identify you and say, this is, we're part of the same union, we're a part of the same community. Why don't you come and take advantage of this? Do you know that this is how people start forming things like Skull? You know, you hear those funny fraternities and groups like Skull and Bones, and it's just societies that help each other get into places where others can't go. So maybe we don't need you to be an adept businessman or lady. Maybe we just need to make a community in construction, so that those who are in the free market in construction can lead you where business goes. The tie will be the language, the construction union or society. That will be the tie. Maybe we don't need you to understand how to run a studio. Maybe we just need enough musicians and artists in a society where they begin to look after each other and say, you do know this is being offered here. You do know you can work with etc. person. I'm not saying that I have understood this fully. I'm just giving as much as I think I know according to the words we've heard. As a farmer scatters seed, if some falls in blah, 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 some falls in whatever. I think I heard it. So to build these communities, guys, it's going to take a massive effort of what? Perseverance, because you're going to be living in dark spots and dark zones. Dark zones and dark spots, it just means maybe a bit more uncomfortable situation, but always remember, it is the right temperature and situation for what you are. You are a single seed, a great individual as pastor whoever you are, or evangelist whoever you are. A great, amazing, your character shines bright. No one can speak bad on you. You're great, but you see, you can't remain as this. You have to translate and transit into being a life giver. To be a life giver, you have to do what the individual will not necessarily do. Taking on a form of a seed to go down. That going down is what the first Adam didn't do. The last Adam did it. He went down and he freed all captives. Isn't it right, Stephen? First Adam could not do that one. He said, no. It looks like I'm crashing right now. Let's put things together. This is extremely cold now. Let me round up with this one. So if you go to that farmer scatters seed. I hope you guys are following me, not making this extra deep. It's just a Saturday. But just to give you an idea of the kind of spaces we're walking into as the nation, it's really nation building mode. And in nation building mode, you will be collateral damage if you don't understand these things. And you'll be wondering, why is my leader not meeting with me? Why is they not talking to me? Why is this not happening? Hey, just understand. By now, you should be the shape of something called seed, and you should be prepared to become a life giver. You're in a transit. You're in a transit, to be a life giver. Go ahead.
Mark 4 from verse 13 in the NIV.
Thank you.
Then Yehoshua said to them, don't you understand this parable? How then will you understand any parable? The farmer sows the word. Some people are like seed along the path where the word is sown. As soon as they hear it, Satan comes and takes away the word that was sown in them. Others, like seed sown on rocky places, hear the word and at once receive it with joy. But since they have no root, they last only a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, they quickly fall away.
Okay, stop here. You see, so it said, some people are like seed, and some of these seeds, they fall in a space where They like this word. If I can see that verse 16 again. They hear the word, they're sown on a rocky place, they hear the word and at once receive it with joy. Yeah, that's it. So they love the word. Sir, preach on, right on, sir. Mad. I used to say you guys will do fire, sword. It's amazing. Powerful word. Crazy. Whoa, he's banging off. Nice, good. Anyway, you receive it with joy. Verse 17.
But since they have no root, they last only a short time.
You know why you don't have roots? You're not willing to go where that word. So now the word. You see when that word, after that word, the word now says, oh yeah, let's go now. And you're looking at the word like, where we going? He said, no, well, you say it's a mad word, let's be going. I said, no. I don't like the direction you're facing, sir. The direction you're facing is hard, it's tough. It's tough. Said they only last a short time. He said how come? He said when trouble. So for you to lead your community, trouble has to hit you. You have to have trouble and you have to have persecution. Okay? It has to happen. You have to go through some stuff. Imagine Pastor David Boy is leading Neymar and Ronaldo and co. You're gonna have to go through some. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're picked because of this. You've proven this kind of thing. So trouble has to hit you, and you keep on developing perseverance. And the more perseverance you develop, the more you start to see the type of people you have the capacity to bring into your community. So when trouble or persecution comes,
because of the word, they quickly fall away.
You quickly falling away. Why? No roots. So we don't just want NSA as just a name. We need it to have a function, a vision, which I know is going to be set and has been set, and all these things like Law City have done so perfectly. But you see, those functions and objectives and aims that you have, unless there is a root, meaning as the seed, the word has taken you where you need to go to develop the perseverance you need to have to lead certain type of people, certain kind of people, to advise and to have compassion for certain type of people. Unless you go in the same journey as the word, as a seed, you won't develop the roots to be able to last long in that industry. Industries are not just a happy place. Have you ever seen people protesting in an industry for lack of pay? Listen, there's fire in some industries, yeah? Was it Kyrie Ivy? When the media started to attack him based on him being pro-black and saying some things. Listen, on that day, we didn't see LeBron James. You know, yeah, there's some trouble that hits that you'll be looking and saying, really? So this guy is not here. On the day they were slamming this Kyrie guy, the basketball player, he came out and spoke about black and being proud and this and whatever and playing his game and what. On that day, see, LeBron just said, listen, I like what you're saying, sir, but I've got a Nike contract. I am not down. I'm not trying to be dragged for nothing. Unless he meets someone like Pastor David, who by the time they see you, they say, you've weathered yourself in this SPAC stuff. You've weathered yourself in this. You've weathered yourself when people thought you were this or the nation is that. You've weathered yourself. You now have rooting. When they see that, they're attracted to join your association. You don't need the mega star. You just need stars who understand. Do you get me? So you develop these roots as a seed to last long enough to attract the body that you're looking for. Help me, Pastor.
Still others, like seed sown among thorns, hear the word, But the worries of this life, the deceitfulness of wealth, and the desires for other things come in and choke the word.
So these are the different things, guys, that you're going to be tackling in this period in order to establish your communities. You're going to have to tackle all of these things to develop strong roots to represent those communities properly. And of course, the word, I commend us all to the word and everything PT teaches, because that is the only way it can help you form the roots you need to lead in those industries and speak proficiently and boldly and last long enough to attract those who need to be a part of your body. That you present these bodies to Christ. This is who Yehoshua wants to come for. This is what the end game is. The end game is not about you making heaven as a... That's not the end game. The end game is presenting communities as we're in this community. You want, as Pastor Daniel Hector and Co, you want to sit down and you want to talk about the boys in Arsenal and Chelsea that are part of the NSA, that are a phone call, and you represent them as agents or as mentors or as pastors, and the day PT says, I want to speak to 1,000 aspiring footballers and megastars and football, you just have your community ready for a 5-minute address, 10-minute address, doesn't matter. But if you can do this, look at the type of society we'll put together. It will then really truly be a nation. The nation is at the cusp of an industrial boom. What the word is looking for is seed per industry. Different seeds to throw and cast in each industry. It's difficult to be a seed. It's not easy. But if you understand that Christ said that in this life, read that, I think the final verse is verse 20, where he speaks about what happens to the seed.
Others, like seed sown on good soil, hear the word, accept it, and produce a crop, some 30, some 60, some 100 times what was sown.
There's a transition that says in this life, not in the next life. We're not talking about how to be prosperous when you're dead and gone. That's long. I listened to a Soundcloud from PT. What is the gain in doing all this and then you don't get to brag about your results? You're waiting for everyone to go to heaven before you said, hey, guy, I told you. No. In this life, being able to weather the storm and persevere in this life to be able to produce the results of 30, 60, 100 times the person who you are. Many more like-minded people like you in your space, bringing you into the public market in your industry. We can only do that if you can accept your seed position and put your head where it needs to be, humbly allow the ground to take you and set some roots. Work obsessively, diligently, with focus in your spaces. Not counting the days, because the seed does not count the days when it will germinate, but trusting that your shape is just to follow the direction of the sun anyway, of the word. You will take the direction in which the word is speaking. If it's speaking about nations and you're involved in work, it will take you there eventually, but your job is simple. Remain lean and let yourself develop the roots in your space and in your industry. So that in this world, in this life, you will see reproduction of people, opportunities, everything, because you chose to be a life giver rather than remain an individual. Let me just see the comments. And I'll kind of just stop there because it's 12:40. Now they're loving Kyrie again. I see you, Ray. Yeah. But it's tough. It's very tough to be the first, the seed, the one in that space responsible. Always tough. The journey for the NSA is not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. The journey for Law City is not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. But you are already in that shaping. It said then Christ set his face like flint. You're already in the shaping of tough. So don't think you have to look into the mirror and say, I'm going to be tough now. No. 8 years of the nation has already begun to put you in that shaping of tough. 8 years mobilizing, 8 or however many years you spend. I'm just using 8 because I think I heard that from Pastor Doro yesterday. However many years it is, has prepared you for a season like now where the word needs to get into certain zones, certain spaces. And it can only get there by choice seeds, choice people who it can trust because they understand their shape, lean, tough, and prepared to learn the language of that ground, developing roots, mobilizing and connecting with their space, like the House of Medics has been doing, like the Law City has been doing, like the Beauty Gloss space has been doing, the Allures and everybody else. Pastor Fabiola's on, like the journalist, the future journalist must be prepared to do. Do you know what it means to be a journalist? Journalists are almost like seen as the annoyance of most public businessmen or celebrity. But to be able to develop the thick skin to be a journalist and the boldness and braveness to be one, how can you develop that if you're just sitting at home? You can only develop that if you understand that however many years being a part of this society and community called the nation was to prepare inside you certain characteristics that just make you tough. That you won't back. Someone's saying Precious is like this. Just I'm like, were you there when I was exposed on this? It's like, and what? They're throwing stuff at you and you're just saying, yeah. And what? Why? Because a characteristic have already been placed in you. You're just there to form roots now. You're roots forming. This is called roots forming time. Yeah? Cambridge University is not for a first-class degree. You don't need to worry. If you get it, I'll be happy and proud, Fab. But Cambridge is for roots forming. By the time you leave Cambridge, you know who's in charge of what in what industry and whatever. And then you go to W Magazine and you go to all the magazine companies in the nation and you say, this is how this goes, this is the person of this is, and people can begin to work. Then you can decide to do whatever you need to do also as whatever you're called to be. You can't go to Israel though, you can't go to Rafah and all this thing. The fighting there is mad. I'm seeing journalists go anywhere. Journalism is tough. I can speak about few industries, but guys, you all know the industries you represent, and I think we can all be honest to ourselves to say, I think I need a little bit more in me if I'm going to represent this community. You should be looking forward to the day you cross your legs and you're sitting down with a top industry person in your community, but you're leading them. It's not about qualification. It's about the seed's capacity. As small as the orange seed is, have you seen the tree that it becomes? Inside that small orange seed is tough exterior. Inside it is the coding of every fruit, the sweetness of the orange fruit. The color of the orange fruit is, the orange seed does not look orange. So don't look at your present shaping and circumstance today in anticipation of what you look like tomorrow. You cannot tell how the tree grows. You can't tell. But I can assure you, in whatever shape and position you are today, you are just but a seed. You're just but a seed. And for some of you listening this afternoon, before I round up, that could be very exciting, because you could be saying, hey, this is just the start. I'm going to go take more risk. I'm going to go do more things. If this is the bottom. This is ground zero for me. And I'm telling you that it is. We must be able to say in the NSA that these are the amount of footballers that have joined in. These are the amount of basketball players, and just continue to grow. And it doesn't matter if you don't get any big player in the first 3-5 years. Guess why? By the time you keep on accumulating people into your NSA, the law of probability says if there are 1,000 of us, even if it's just one of that community that becomes a megastar, it's enough. Even if it's just one. Even if it's that a boy joined NSA at 16 and then at 23 he became a megastar, even that is enough for you to say what a strong association we put together. Then he can take our association when we need to take it to. We have to be very patient for this long game, guys. This long game would need a shaping. Fab, you're laughing. Yeah, you're not allowed to go to Rafa and all those sides. No way. The journalism you do is glamour. Glamour journalism. Sit with Pastor Mariam and think of the glamour stuff. All the nice, there's some journalism that I'm seeing the person wearing helmet and body vest, and I'm like, why though? She said, no, don't do this to me, come on. I don't want to see you wearing bulletproof vest and helmet. I'm thinking, did you go to fight, Fab, or did you go to report? Anyway, I know you're gonna just end up doing whatever it is you're called to do. I love you guys. It's 12:50. I'll round up today's ELC on that note. We're really looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be an absolutely amazing Super Sunday. Yet again, this time, of course, you get to see so much skills and talent from the public who are all vying and competing for a cash prize. And of course, that will be presented by the global leader and visionary of this mission. And of course, as you see that on Sunday, challenge yourselves to continue to grow in your own capacity to eventually be able to speak out for the industries that you're all a part of. I am really pushing for the union board to come in, hopefully after this, speaking with the higher powers that be. And the aim of the board is not to interrupt what you're doing, it's just to work in cohesion alongside and bring more visibility to PT's foresight on the areas of growth where our language is very proficient as a nation. Now we're seeing how proficient we are at sports, but we will see even more how proficient we are at many other things, and it calls for more word on those sides. I love you guys. See you all tomorrow. Take care. Love.